I thank the Lord for bringing that brother into my life. From this short time, everybody knew him. I didn't know him. My mom and dad didn't let me go too far. That's how I was with my sister. But I come to grow and love him. I be around him every day. And y'all thought that was long. Try riding in the car with him. He gonna give it to you straight. No chasing. And that's what I like. But what we're here today is about the two-step. The two-step, take one step, turn around another step to walk away. But then there's a second part too. You gotta focus. Now, I've been known about this meeting for a long time, but I'm a procrastinator. So I sat down yesterday and I jotted down what I wanted to say. And there's not as many people in here that I wanted to be, because I wanted the community leaders and all those here to hear this, because we're trying to save the community, but nobody is here trying to help save the community. They always want to talk and preach. Hey, we want to do this, we want to do that. But ain't nobody trying to do that. The fight, be the warrior. My pop told me, well, my second pop, my real father's in the building tonight. I appreciate it, Mr. Johnny Steve. Y'all give him a round of applause. So first off, I'd like to thank everybody for taking time out of your busy schedule to come hear what we have to say tonight. Just by your participation in this gathering shows that you are willing to be proactive and take the measures to help and save what's left of our community. Now don't worry, this is an informal meeting with no intention of bashing anyone here, but instead we're going to shed some light on some of the issues that we face today, not only in Greenwood, but in the communities worldwide. I would ask, if you got your cell phone, I was going to do a little thing about that, but I ain't going to even worry about it now. Take them out and record, because if you ain't here today, you're going to see this on Facebook. You're going to see this on YouTube. You're going to see this because you wasn't here, but we're going to put it in your face. Now, focus. Focus, I say, stands for focusing on community, unity, and spirituality. You never thought about that, because that's what we got to do. I stand here tonight, ready, willing, and able to help in the battle for our existence, for our future, and for our state of minds, what Mr. Jones pointed out. Yes, I am using the word "our" to represent that we all are part of the struggles of the violence in our streets today. Tonight I see a room full of humans, not black, not white, nor rich or poor, not east side, not west side, not south side, but human. Our humanity is what we've lost focus on, people. We spend so much time classifying and categorizing, or we forget about the basic structure that we're human first. Now, many of you don't know me. Some of you do. I'm originally from Greenwood. I've been here for 40 plus years. And I would like to see 40 more, with the majority of y'all here too, God willing. I never claimed to be a model citizen, and I'm not asking you to do the same. But what I am asking is for you to put forth an effort to be the best that you can possibly be. We fall short sometimes. We all have faults, trials, and tribulations. I have nothing to hide. I've done a lot of things that I'm not proud of, but in the same breath, I'm not ashamed of them either. I dropped out of high school at the age of 17. I was homeless a time or two because I wanted to be grown. But through the grace of God and some influential people I met during my travels, I began to focus and put my life back together to be able to function as a tolerable human being in this world today. Now, there are times when I wanted to throw my hands to the sky and ask the Lord why. And I wanted to give up. But I guess it wasn't my time to go. I guess God had bigger plans for me. That's why I'm here tonight. I'm still here. All right. Now, as time passed, I got my GED. I went to college. I studied computer technology right here in Greenwood, South Carolina, at Piedmont Tech. I was fortunate enough to surround myself with enough positive people with some of the same goals and dreams that I want. I learned if you want change in your life, first you must change within yourself, and then change the environment that's around you. Now, by saying that, there's always an alternative ending or road that you can take in life. Now, every story isn't a success story, because mine isn't. But every story is not a failure either. In the end, it's up to you to make that change in the direction of how you want your story to end. There's always an edit button. There's always a rewrite. There's always an undo and a delete. Just believe. Now, to my brothers and sisters here in the audience, we need to come together under this umbrella of this thing that we call life. We need to stop making excuses and better ourselves for our futures and our kids' future. The days of blaming others, it's over. We have the same rights. We have the same opportunities as everyone. Yes, you may have to work hard. You may have to work longer. But as Frederick Douglass once said, if there's no struggle, there's no progress. Now with that, if everything was given to you, you wouldn't value it. You wouldn't respect it. It wouldn't hold any weight because you didn't put forth any effort or any sacrifice for it. For instance, let's take some of these people that have won the lottery. Big time millionaires. You know, the one that I always try to get with one quick pick. Most of them dead broke right now. They didn't understand the value of money. They didn't. It was just given to them. There's countless of professional athletes who made millions upon millions of dollars and don't have a dime to their name. Countless numbers of people died so we can have the right for equal education. But over 40% don't even graduate. I'm guilty of that myself. They marched. They bled. They got beaten so we can have the right to vote. But by the show of hands here tonight, how many of y'all own a voter's registration card and vote? But they want to blame it on the local politicians for all the misfortunes that they got. It's not all their fault because we, the people, elect these officials and we should accept some of the responsibility that is not just on them. We need to demand the service that we were promised and what we elected them for. Now, here's one that's going to tickle your fancy. I always find it funny myself. I thought this was a land, America, home of the free and home of the brave. In 1862, President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation to free all men, right? But we have more people locked away in prisons with their freedom taken away than we have in any educational institution. And that's mainly by choice or poor decision making. Now, people out there, YouTube, did any of y'all know if you live in a home that grossed under $80,000 a year, you could apply for a grant from the state lottery and you could receive up to $5,400 a year to get an education or a trade from a local tech school right here in the state of South Carolina? This is public knowledge, people. Ain't nobody hiding it from you. I'm living proof. It paid for my education. So please use your smartphones. Please use your tablets for more than Facebook and Instagram. You got the world at your fingertips. Now, to the governing Christian bodies here, I challenge you to step up and aid the community better. Stop looking at our youth as a lost cause and help them when they can't help themselves. Now, don't just give them to anything, but work with them. And work with the appointed leaders to help show them the way to be successful and to be a more productive citizen. The old saying goes, it takes a village to raise a child. But if this entire community adapted that philosophy, Greenwood would explode into greatness. Y'all don't hear me. Right now, people are trying to survive the best way that they know how. Now, it might not be the right way, but it's survival. And stop saying any gangs here. I'm like Jones. Stop saying there are no gangs here in Greenwood. If so, point out an OG and I'll stop this fight right now. That's what I thought. Now, what we do have is a gang of misguided individuals who've been incarcerated around some active members and came home to emulate what they thought was gang culture. Do any of you understand why gangs were created? They were created to protect and educate the neighborhoods. Now, somewhere along the line, we strayed away from that idea. You know what I'm saying? We started storing our own for personal gain. Absolute power is one of the greatest poisons that deteriorates civilizations. Dictatorship. Do anybody disagree? Or am I the only one that's standing up here that believe in this? Now, what have you done to better your neighbors? What have you done to clean up your surroundings? What have you done to make a better and brighter future for your loved ones? When was the last time you fed the homeless? All them old clothes and shoes you got in your closet, do you donate them? What happened to the outlets that we had? What happened to the recreational activities where the poor and unfortunate could participate? When I was growing up, we had many things to occupy our time. We didn't have Facebook. We didn't have Tag. We didn't have PlayStation. We had Intellivision and Atari, but I can only play that when I ain't do nothing bad in school. There is no reason in the world why the R.L. Stevens or the Seaboard Recreation Center, or whatever you want to call it, because I refuse to call it what the name is today, and I will not bring that name out my mouth. There's no way those doors should have ever been closed. But I don't blame all of you for it, because there should have been countless efforts to say something that was so powerful and help mentoring the local youth as it did. What happened to the unity that this town used to have? Now, young people, with myself included, where are the leaders in your neighborhood? When I was growing up, we had real men that taught us how to be men when we didn't get enough doses in our own homes. Because one thing I was always taught, you can never be a man until you meet one. Now, my single parents, please don't get me wrong. I empathize with you in every way. And I know you have done the very best that you know how. But until us men start to step up, not only in our own children's eyes, but to the little Leroys and the little Sues, this epidemic will wipe us out of existence. And then you ain't got to worry about these boys. We're going to destroy ourselves. Now, we allow the fantasy of TV to poison our youth. People, the idiot box is not real. I repeat, the idiot box is not real. Now, most of these rappers and actors that they try to emulate, they don't live that life. That's right. When the cameras go off and they get in their expensive cars and go home to their gated communities, they don't live in no neighborhoods like we live in. You can look outside that door right now. This is real. This is reality, people. The struggle isn't real as they claim. Wake up from their fantasies and start living your own reality. Now, as I close, I hope these words are taken very seriously. And I hope they touch someone out there in this crowd, or in YouTube land, or on Facebook, or wherever you at. All it takes is one. Because that starts the chain reaction. Please understand, in order to solve a problem, we must clearly define it. What can you do to be part of the solution? What can you do to better the community? What can you do to save someone in your household? If we start with the youth, the seed will grow into a beautiful flower. Mm-hmm. It is not over yet. We can turn this thing around, people. We can make it the way it's supposed to be. Put down the guns. Pick up some books. And if you got that much love for guns and fight, there's a big war on the other side of that pond. And we need some soldiers. It's got 5 branches. Take you every day. 3 hots in a cot. There's still time left, my brothers and sisters. Out here on these streets, it's not over yet. We can turn this thing around. Stop beefing with your neighbors. Love one another. We out here battling over turf that we don't even own. We don't own the deeds and titles. Somebody else owns it. Why are we sitting up here worried about somebody else's stuff? It's not that hard. You know what I'm saying? Invest in yourself. Start your own businesses if you like. It really ain't hard. All you need is a little help, a little direction. Somebody that can point you in the way that you need to go. Because I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for a lot of y'all men out here. I see a bunch of you that changed my life. Now, to the law enforcement, please don't be afraid of us. Sometimes we're more scared of you than you all was. It's just plain and simple. And right now, what's going on in America needs to cease and stop. You know, somehow we need to find a shade of grace so your jobs won't be so hard. But it's going to take an effort from you guys too. You know, closing down the clubs and trying to stop people doing that is not the answer. That's just a Band-Aid. You ain't fixing nothing. I've begged and begged. Hey, if you put a police car and uniform in front of these clubs, you'll cut down more than 40% of the violence that goes on just by your representation. And if by any chance something was to happen, you there as a material witness. We don't have to call and wait for you. You right there. You can put them in the car. We don't have to worry about nobody talking about I ain't snitching because you was right there to see what was going on. But I'm crazy. I'm just saying, am I crazy? Is the insurance money what you talking about? We offer to pay y'all. We pay you more than you make an hour. All we asking for is help. Do not put a Band-Aid on the problem, fix it. Now, I know there are going to be instances where you got to use force. But the best way I know to win a fight is to avoid it at all costs. Now, the same way you can pull us over for a broken tag light, the same way you can stop and help us fix a flat tire. People, wake up. Focus. Like I said, you ain't got to worry about Ebola because we're going to kill ourselves. Thank you.